Senator John McCAIN, Republican, both on the Armed Services and Foreign Relations Committee, with us today. And Senator, good morning and welcome back here to America's Newsroom. Let's start there. His point about a lack of intel. When you leave Iraq 3 years ago and you basically don't even go into Syria, is he right?
Well, he's exactly right, and this is just part of the larger picture. The president wanted out of Iraq. We predicted, many of us predicted, that this chaos would ensue. We did not predict the rapidity of the collapse of the Iraqi military, but certainly this was all predictable when the president of the United States, and he's not telling the truth when he says that he wanted to leave a residual force behind. He did not, and that's the huge mistake. These things are not like earthquakes or hurricanes. Failures of policies have consequences, and we're paying those consequences in an enormous cost of human blood, and it's a debacle. And he still doesn't get it, Bill. This is a problem. He gave a very moving statement about Mr. Foley, where it all touched us. And then what? He said we have to contain ISIS. We don't have to contain ISIS. We have to defeat ISIS, and we have to do whatever is necessary. And ISIS is in Syria, and they have obliterated the boundary between Iraq and Syria. And we have to go in, and it's more than pinprick airstrikes. And we're going to need more boots on the ground, and that does not mean combat troops, but it does mean a significant increase. And rather the incrementalism that that they are now practicing, we need a comprehensive strategy that can be explained to the American people, which is designed to defeat ISIS wherever they are. And I hope that this tragic thing that happened with Foley will serve as a strong message to the United States of America that these people are going to attack us, and they're going to attack us in the United States of America. You know what Baghdadi said when he left our Camp Bucca? See you in New York.
See you in New York. That's the word reported to us. Yes. Let me get more on the mission for the future. But first, there's some criticism this morning, the fact that we even know about this raid that was carried out that was unsuccessul. Should we even know this?
No, I don't think so. I think it'd be far better. I don't really like to impugn people's motives all the time, but remember after we got bin Laden, all that stuff was leaked about it that was totally unnecessary and even compromised some of our capabilities. This is sort of the same thing. They see the negative the disapproval of the American people of the handling of this situation. So one can't help but assume that this is sort of try to help their PR, that they tried to rescue the hostages. In fact, we will, over time, betraying some of our capabilities by revealing that, and it wasn't unintentional.
Well, there were at least 3 other Americans we know, reporters that went missing, are now being held in Syria. And we saw the image of one American, Stephen Sotloff, at the end of that video that came out yesterday. Let's talk about
Bill, could I just emphasize one more time again? We need a comprehensive strategy to defeat ISIS wherever they are, and that needs to be explained to the American people and to do what is necessary. Right now, we're incrementally building up. We're doing very low level of airstrikes inside of Iraq, and meanwhile, the slaughter goes on, orchestrated by the most dangerous terrorist outfit, and they will be coming to America unless we stop them.
Do you think these events, and you mentioned the Foley execution, you really feel for his parents who were so brave, who came out yesterday in front of the cameras. Even if we've launched these airstrikes against ISIS militants around Mosul, and it appears that they had a great effect, because on behalf of the Kurds on the ground and the Iraqi army, they chased ISIS away. Which leads us back to a fundamental question. We know ISIS was able to take territory. We don't know whether or not ISIS can hold territory. Can they?
Well, I think it depends on whether air power is used. Air power alone doesn't do it, but air power in support of these efforts. But the Kurds have got to have better equipment. There's got to be reconciliation with the Sunni, with this new administration in Baghdad. But it requires active American leadership and active American involvement. This didn't have to happen. We could have left a residual force for stability behind, and now we have and by the way, one of the tragic aspects of this is that our Free Syrian Army, God love them, they're on the ropes because the president overruled his entire national security team, including then Secretary of State Clinton, when all of them argued 2 years ago to give weapons to the Free Syrian Army. And this is the president that said, it's not a question of whether Bashar Assad will go, it's a matter of when. Another debacle, which is the 170,000 dead, 150,000 Syrians still in Bashar Assad's prison, and the barrel bombs that are so horrendous are continue to be dropped on innocent men, women, and children. This is an abject failure, and I get emotional about it because I know these people, and what they're going through is horrendous.
Well, that decision came and went, as you well know. Senator, there's much more to talk about. We'll continue it next time. Senators.